Hello and welcome. We're looking at index and match. It substitutes for lookup values, the VLOOKUP and the XLOOKUP we did last class. So we're looking at how we can combine index, which is a function in Excel, and match also, which is another function in Excel. How we can combine both together to give us a function, or what we call nested function, having two functions combined to give us one result basically. So we'll look at it one by each before we go in depth. So we'll be starting with index function. Remember what I said, index basically returns the value at a given position. For this scenario, we want Excel to return Mario for us. So I'm just going to call me start a function and your formula in Excel with equals to. I call out the function name, index, then tab. So because this is the first time I'm seeing this parameter or this argument, I'm going to be using this fx to give me more information about these parameters. So we have the first one, which is the array. So our array is basically the range of cells, which is our data set. I'm just going to call me beneath the heading. Select this, Ctrl Shift down and Ctrl Shift right arrow key and Ctrl Shift down. Then I come down to the second parameter, which is the row number. Remember, we've done the differences between rows and column. So your rows are basically the numbers. While your column are the alphabet. Another key thing to know is your row counting starts from your data set that was selected. Remember, when I was selecting, I started from A5, which is 43 down. I started beneath the heading. These are the headings. I started beneath the headings. So from 43 down to 19, down to the overall data set. So what's my row number? Remember, I said I want to return Mario. So I have row 1. Instead of row 5, it's now row 1, row 2, row 3, and row 4. So I'm just going to come down to row number, it starts 4, and come down to column 2. Column 2 is basically saying what is the heading of the second column, of the second, the third parameter instance, in third parameter. So I have agent ID, we have first name. Once Excel to return first name for us. So this is column 1 and this is column 2 because that's where we have Mario in the array. So I'm going to put 2 in here too. Even before selecting, okay, this is the formula results to Mario. Excel is returning Mario for us as our results. So we are correct. But as a function of your index, basically, so it returns the value at a given position of a range of data sets or of an array. Move down to match before we go into index and match combine. So what match function does for us, it returns the position. It returns the position. Index returns the value, while match returns the position. What do I mean by position? Is it the first position? Is it the third position? The second, the fourth, and so on like that. So I'm just going to come here equals to. So we'll call out our function, which is match. So what is our lookup value? A lookup value is basically, okay, we want to count position here. So these are lookup value. Remember, we've done lookups, VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP. What's our lookup array? Your lookup array is where your lookup value is located. I'm just going to select every single thing here. Comma. And what's our match type? Remember, when doing lookups also, we go with the exact match, which is 0. So you are still going to come back to this sum. Okay, there's no need to come back. Let's just do it here. Because I'm going to be copying down this to get the position for bananas, oranges, apple, and pears. So this particular array is going to be copying down alongside the formula. So I need to make it fixed. That is your absolute referencing. So I'm just going to click on F4 on my keyboard, enter. So just come here, just copy this down. So we have first position, second, third, fourth as a function of match. Remember, index returns the value, match returns the position. So we're going to be combining these two things together. We're going to be combining both our index function and our match function to give us a unique outlook, which is to replace our lookups, either VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP or XLOOKUP, depending on the situation. So we have two things there. We have Chicago customer total and we have New York customer total. So one, I'm going to be doing both scenarios. One, I'm going to be at coding. The second one, I'm going to is cell referencing. Remember, anytime I'm doing anything in Excel, I normally put this out there. Make sure you go your cell referencing. Out coding is not the best. But I'm just going to give both scenarios so we are familiar with both. So starting with Chicago, we are combining two functions here, which is a nested function. So we start with the first one, which is index equals to index. We're combining both function tab. What is our array? Our array, like we know said earlier, our array is basically our data set. Sorry, this is just a replica of this, so I'm just going to list that later. But let's keep on with what we're doing. Come on. Now our row number is going to be replaced by our match function. Stay with me. Our row number is going to be replaced by a match function. Instead of us to have row number, this is going to be a number, maybe row 2, row 3, row 4. But in a scenario where we have longer array or longer data sets, we don't have the luxury of time to be doing that. So we are going to replace that with our match nested function. You're having a function instead of another function. So what's our lookup value? We want to look at Chicago customer total. So for our lookup value, I'm just going to add code. Remember, I said we will stick with out coding, but for this particular scenario, let's go on with it. So what's our lookup array? Remember, I said your lookup array is basically where your lookup value is located. Chicago is located under city. We're just going to select everything here. Comma, what is our match type? We go with exact match. We want to also return exact match. So I'm just going to close this. Our match function it's represented by the row number. So just impute the last one. The last one is saying what's our column number. So once we return customer total, we have column 1, column 2, column 3, and column 4 as a customer total. I'm just going to insert 4 there, then post this. Then we have enter. So we have this as our Chicago customer total. If you trace this, which is this here right here, we have $432,234. So that is correct. Same thing we are going to do for New York, but remember this time we are doing the right thing, which is referencing, cell referencing equals to index. Also our array, we are going to select our array, comma, our row number is now going to be represented by our match. Our lookup value in this scenario, which is cell referencing, I'm just going to select that particular cell, comma, and the lookup value where your lookup value is located, that's your lookup array, comma, what's our match type? Exact match. Close this, which is represented by row number, and the last one, which is 4, basically column number, which is represented by customer total. We have column 1, column 2, 3, and 4. So we have this to be closed. So we have 55693 for New York. Yeah, let's trace that here. So the benefits of cell referencing is anytime I need for another city, there's no need for me to have a new index and match function combined. All I need to do is just reference this. So I can just change New York to another city, and I have the exact figure. If I have for Philadelphia too, I have the same figure. I have different figure, but which is correct, which is going to be aligned to Philadelphia. So we have that. So your index, the summary of what we've done so far is your index returns the value basically, while your match returns the position. So the combination of both is going to give you a replica of your lookup, which is a substitute for your lookup. I still go with XLOOKUP in most scenarios, but it is a good thing to know your index and match in some scenarios when you're stuck while using Excel. Thank you. We'll meet in the next video.